What's going on, everyone? What a journey the Lakers have been on so far. And we've really gotten to see two completely different variations in the first two rounds, now leading into the Denver Nuggets series. So, first off, with the Memphis Grizzlies, you didn't have an elite offense, but what you did have is one of the best defenses we will see in the entire playoffs. Lakers were able to get through that. Lakers just defeated the Golden State Warriors, which many people thought their high-powered offense, their ability to put the ball in the hoop, that's going to be a problem for the Lakers. And in theory, it is, right? I mean, the Warriors are a handful. They are a nightmare for pretty much every team because of the constant ball movement, the constant screening. You're having to fight not over just one, but sometimes several. Like the Warriors run sets where the screener gets a screener, and it's just this constant movement. Steph Curry is probably as big, if not more of a threat without the ball than he is with the ball. We've heard countless people talk about just the marathon and how exhausted you are chasing around Steph Curry all game. Then you have to go worry about Clay and Poole and all these guys that can just go knock down the three ball. It really is. They have guys that from the bench to the starters, that even Andrew Wiggins has been solid from the three-point line. And it's just that lingering no lead is safe. And one of the things that I talked about going into the Golden State Warriors series and have touched on briefly here and there is that the Warriors might be our toughest offensive matchup or offensive assignment for our defense. We have the best defense in the entire league and in these playoffs without a doubt. And with that, this Warriors team really put us to the test because they are a high-powered offense. They are a team that can go and drop 125, 130 on you game in and game out. But we also didn't have to worry about a full force offense. The beauty of the Denver Nuggets is that we don't have to have that lingering concern of like, they can just at any second just start going off and raining threes, and our 20-point lead could be we're a 10-point deficit, and you're just like, whoa, like that was fast, right? The three ball, especially with the Warriors having two of the greatest three-point shooters in history, having them and their ability to just get you back into games quickly, not having that threat, I think, is going to be a huge burden off of the Lakers. But that being said, one of the beauties with Golden State that we also saw with Memphis was them having several guys that you didn't really have to worry about on the offensive end, right? When you're talking about, the Memphis Grizzlies, right? Didn't have to really worry about Dillon Brooks, Xavier Tillman, those guys. They want to jack up threes, let them jack up threes. Triple J even, you didn't really have to worry about him too much. If he wanted to shoot a bunch of threes, you let him shoot a bunch of threes, and you live with the result. Then you go to the Golden State Warriors. Their offense is ridiculous, is insane. And much like how Denver has, Jokic and his ability to make plays out of the post, you had the same thing in Draymond. So you kind of got a little bit of a fill leading into of what to expect for this Nuggets series. But Kevon Looney, Gary Payton, you also had, Draymond Green, obviously, although he did have that one game where he gave you 20. But in reality, those guys weren't really a threat on the offensive end. They never really had to worry about any of these major threats. And unless they had, that Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, which, again, those are more than enough offensive outputs. Even DiVincenzo is a guy that can knock down the three ball. Moses Moody, right? They have several guys that can absolutely just put the ball in the hoop. But the Warriors sets, you had two guys, sometimes three, that were always on the floor that you didn't really have to account for. And that is beneficial for the Lakers because then you can allow Anthony Davis to camp out in the paint. You can allow LeBron James to camp out in the paint, and those two kind of play spy, right? But you saw the Warriors, one of the big adjustments they made was, hey, let's get Anthony Davis out of the paint, and then we can make plays in the interior, which that was killing us, right? The pick and roll and just having Anthony Davis have to come out and challenge because they are such great shooters really became an issue. And that is definitely going to be something that we're going to see in the Denver Nuggets series. Now, I will do full breakdowns of the matchup and give my thoughts on when they're going to win. But one of the things that I want to talk about just independently is with Denver, you have 5 guys on the floor that can all shoot the ball. Now, Denver isn't as deep. Outside of Bruce Brown, like, they don't really have anybody else off the bench. Nobody else is making like a super significant impact. But their starters, I mean, Murray, KCP, MPJ, Jokic even can knock down the 3 ball. He doesn't take a lot of them, but he can still knock them down, especially on that elbow, that 15-footer. And then, of course, Aaron Gordon, he can knock them down from time to time. So everybody on there is a threat and something you have to be concerned with. Now, luckily, outside of Murray, the Denver Nuggets don't really have that rim pressure type players to really make the Lakers pay, right? Like Steph Curry is just so skillful, so tactical. Like he can just get to the rim and just make problems for you. And his ability to play make, and then Draymond Green, his ability to play make, and just the way that they move the ball is unlike anything else. You're not going to have to worry about a lot of the issues we had with Golden State, with Denver, but you do have to be accountable for all 5 guys, which is something the Lakers haven't really had to worry about to this point. Because again, Memphis, you didn't really need to worry about Dylan Brooks and Xavier Tillman, guys like that. That wasn't really a concern. You didn't have to worry about Draymond Green and Gary Payton and Kevon Looney. That wasn't really a concern. But with Denver, yes, you could live with, if Jokic wants to take 10 threes a game, live with that, right? You'd rather that than him playing out of the high post, right? So that's fine. But reality, he's not going to do that. The Lakers are going to have to make a decision. Do we let Jokic be scoring Jokic, or do we let him be playmaking Jokic? That's genuinely the decision that I believe the Lakers are going to have to make. It's the only way you're really going to be able to slow down their offense. Now, obviously, if you can contain Murray and you can contain Jokic, you win this series very handily, right? If Michael Porter Jr. and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, if those 2 guys are killing you all game and they're averaging 30 a game each because you've slowed down Jokic and Murray, you live with that. If KCP and MPJ win this series, congrats. Good for Denver. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Lakers' play is going to be, hey, we need to slow down Murray. We got to keep him contained. And then you got to keep Jokic contained. If you can keep Murray contained, again, you're never going to stop him. Jokic, you're never going to stop him. But if you can slow them down, make things difficult, and then with Jokic, decide, are we okay with him getting 30 plus a game? Or do we want to make him be a passer and really trap him, hit him hard, and make other guys? I think you allow him to score and let him, because he is such a big threat when the ball is moving, right? You're almost better off letting him get his 30 and just slowing down and stopping everyone else, right? Like if he wants to take 40 shots a game, I think you let him take 40 shots a game. You trust Anthony Davis to just kind of make things difficult for him, and you turn him into a scorer, right? And you just pressure and contain everybody else. But they don't have the ball movement, the constant moving. Like Denver is a lot more predictable on the offensive end than the Golden State Warriors are. Golden State is a problem because they just are so unpredictable. They run so many different sets, so many different variations of said sets, so many, it's this constant motion. And don't get me wrong, Denver runs a lot of motion sets. They run a lot of, back doors, a lot of cutting. You got to account for a lot of shooters, but they're not the Warriors and their offensive output, right? They're not as deep as the Warriors and their offensive output. You got guys that can get hot. MPJ can absolutely get hot. Caldwell Pope can absolutely get hot. But I think our guards will be more than enough to give those guys fits. I think very likely you'll see some variation of like Vanderbilt on Murray, right, and try to contain Jamal Murray as much as possible. I think you'll see Anthony Davis on Jokic. I think LeBron will be on Gordon. I think then you end up putting Austin Reeves on Michael Porter Jr. And then you have D'Lo on Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, right? And just kind of how they ran against Golden State, right? Where Vanderbilt will now be on Jamal Murray as opposed to Steph. And then, they're not going to have that same pick and roll. Murray is not the playmaker that Steph Curry is. So you're not going to have to worry about that constant, you just switch. You can just literally switch it. The Lakers match up really well against this squad, right? Denver can't go super small to make things difficult. I think Rui Hachimura and a lot of these other guys that are on this Lakers team are really going to be mismatches for a lot of guys. LeBron is going to continue to be a big problem. They don't have the rim protection, so that's going to be a real issue for them. And the Lakers have a lot of guys that can get to the rim. A lot of guys. Dennis Schroeder, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, right? Like, just to name a few. Lonnie Walker, right? So the Lakers have a lot that they could do to put ball pressure on the Denver Nuggets. But their offense, the beauty is we got through the elite defense, which Denver does not have the elite defense. Denver doesn't play defense. They're not very good defensively. You don't have to worry about the elite defense. And we went through an elite offense that is very hard and is going to be very difficult, or was very difficult to contain. Now we've moved on, and I really believe Jokic is their engine. You're not going to stop him. But if you put him in a position, he is best and most dangerous when he's able to make plays, right? When he goes off for 50, they usually lose those games. I mean, we already saw it once in the playoffs, right? Like, you don't make him be a scorer. If Jokic wants to go and get 50, fine, let him go get 50 and contain Murray, contain KCP, contain Brown, contain, MPJ, all of them. Contain those guys. Because if Jokic becomes scorer and not scorer plus playmaker, that's where a lot of people have the problem, is they allow him to be, I'm going to go get 35, and I'm also going to go get 15 assists, and now he's accounted for 100 of their 120 points. And it's like, God, that's the difference. He's extremely high usage. Make him take Anthony Davis one-on-one. Trust that Anthony Davis will get stops here and there, and just contain everybody else. Stay honest on everybody. Make Denver work. Make Denver have to beat you. That's how I'd approach it. But I trust the Lakers to get it done. Look, the Lakers' defense is elite. It's been proven to be elite. They've held the Warriors to under 35% or something like that on several occasions. They are the team that defensively they're just a handful. The Lakers really are. They're just a handful on the defensive end, and I think Denver's really going to see that. I think Darvin Ham's going to be in his bag. And something else worth noting, this Denver team has never seen this Lakers team. We had Denver's number all year. Without Anthony Davis, without LeBron James. we had their number. And that was with the old team. Denver has not seen this team. And this team has a lot of the same guys that gave them fits. We still have. And we added some that can make it even worse for them. So Denver's going to have their hands full. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you agree? Think the offense is nothing we can't handle compared to Golden State's? Do you think, no, like, it is going to be a problem, right? They got 5 wide. How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know.